And that really brought the village together. Naanha si Judith Flores. I arrived with my family, my parents and siblings in 1957, and we have lived here ever since. We were the first white family to be stationed in Inalahan, where my parents were teaching. And that was when they used to have the annual Manyohak runs, not Manyohak, the mackerel, the atulay runs in the bay. And now it's become commercialized. You have to get a license. Private families do it, businesses do it, but it's not a village event. When the fishermen could see that the mackerel were ready, there were schools of mackerel out there ready to come into the bay, they'd be watching. And this happened all over the island, but in Inalahan, that's what I'm familiar with. So as soon as the mackerel was coming into the bay, all the fishermen got together and sewed their nets together, and they blocked the bay. So there were the fishermen with boats, and then there were the fishermen that loaned their nets, and there were fishermen that helped sew. You know, everybody had a role, and everybody was compensated from the catch by what they contributed. So it was a whole event where when the mackerel were coming in, the fishermen were the first ones very active. And as they pulled the nets in, then they needed more people to pull the nets. So even children and women and everybody was involved in pulling these heavy nets in. And then as the nets were pulled in, those that were in charge would start piling up the fish. And they were piling it according to who was going to get a share of this catch. And then the important thing was there was always a share for those that came last minute and helped and pulled in the nets. Those that did anything special, you know, that just helped out. Those who stopped by and just wanted to see. And always for the sick and the elderly. Everybody in the village was provided for. So to me, that was the fabric of the village. So that's a very fond memory.